Are you someone who every Thanksgiving and Christmas eats baked mac and cheese, but you still don't know how to make it yourself yet? Well, welcome back to our second holiday edition of Cooking with KAPPPS, where I'm going to teach you how to make baked mac and cheese. The prep time for this meal is about 45 minutes. The cook time is only 90 minutes, so total it's about 2.5 hours. And I will be using gluten-free noodles for this recipe, so let's get started. I'm using elbow and rotini noodles, so I love to mix the shapes. It's my favorite thing to do. And the very first thing you're going to want to do is boil a pot of water with some salt in it, because boiling these noodles is going to take a long time. And when you add salt to your boiling water, it helps it actually reach the boiling point and get hotter faster. And I'm using 2 boxes of noodles for this recipe. You can use any amount you want, but 2 is enough for a big gathering. And just for a warning, if you pick noodles of vastly different sizes like you can see here, they might finish cooking at different times. That's why some of the noodles are lighter in color and some of them are darker in color. But when they're done, you can go ahead and pour those into a large glass pan and get started. Look at that steam, look at that cook. I know this is going to be good. And the first 2 steps are super simple. Just add butter and salt and pepper. That's it. Next, go ahead and get out some milk, because this is going to act as a binding agent to our eggs later on. I use flax milk by Good Karma, but you could use any type of milk you like. You may need to add a lot of milk multiple different times because you want the texture of your mac and cheese to be kind of runny, almost like a chili before you bake it. I want to teach you guys to cook with your eyes and not have to follow such tight, rigid ingredients, because it will work. Next, go ahead and add 2 eggs, and this will act as your binding ingredient to give your baked mac and cheese that cake slice texture. And now that we're done with the mac part, let's move on to the cheese. I add 2 bags of cheddar cheese, 2 bags of Swiss cheese, and a whole container of Parmesan cheese. And breaking the cheese mound is so satisfying before I mix it. Now let's dim the lights and get started on the final touches. First, we're going to start with our cheddar cheese. Sprinkle some of that on. And then moving on to our Parmesan. Sprinkle some of that on. Finish her off with salt, pepper, and we're done. Okay, lights back on. Let's do tinfoil. Cover your pan in tinfoil. This is going to trap all the heat so that your mac and cheese cooks all the way through. And as you can see, when I pulled it out of the oven, the tinfoil wasn't on there. And that's because it gives it this nice, crunchy, crispy texture in the last 5 minutes. Like, look at that cook. Pro tip, pull that tinfoil off in the last 5 minutes of your cook for the best Thanksgiving meal ever.